What is something you know is real but others don't seem to believe in? Concrete boats. Rare, but they do exist. Everyone I tell thinks I'm winding them up. That a bird once flew through the open windows of my car. Straight through and out the other side. While I was driving at highway speeds. I was alone in the car and I swear it happened. My reaction: did that just happen? The amount of people that don't know narwhals are actual animals. Restless leg syndrome. People think it's just being a little uncomfortable and not finding a good position to sleep in. It's actually an uncontrollable urge to move your legs that feels almost like muscle spasms, and it is absolutely maddening. Weirdly, if my cat is sleeping on my bed, I can pat him and it makes it stop. I have no idea why. I believe most people aren't actually working in offices and we're all sitting here trying to fake each other out with the goal of seeming necessary. Unicorns are fake but giraffes are real. Giraffes. The sensation of déjà vu, whether real or not. That when you chase the validation of others, the only thing you get is tired. Me when I tell people I have aphantasia, I can't picture things in my head, and vice versa when people tell me they can picture things in their heads. Sleep paralysis. Major depression, a full-blown panic attack. No one gets it unless they've experienced it. Being unable to force myself to do something with ADHD. It is like I'm physically restrained when I try to force myself to do something at times. OCD can be a lot more debilitating than people realize. The tangible and intangible benefits of exercise. This might off the vein a little, but my answer is: bad things can happen to your child as a direct result of your negligence. People truly don't believe that their child could be internally decapitated, mangled, or die of internal injuries because you didn't enforce the right kind of car seat or even a seat belt. Children 3-8 are the largest demographic I've seen that are injured in car accidents as a direct result of being improperly restrained. And people don't believe it. They don't believe that not doing any child restraint research and lacking in their own due diligence can lead to their child's death. Source: paramedic. Mental health issues. It's amazing to me how many people think the brain, the most complicated structure in the known universe, is the only organ that's not capable of malfunctioning. That much of what we remember isn't real. The brain is a sieve. Losing memories. It fills in holes of knowledge with assumptions, interpolations, justifications. How depression can make it impossible to do things. I once made a custom knife for a friend, wrapped and boxed it, then let it sit there for well over a month before I was finally able to mail it. Intellectually, I know that it's a very simple task to tape on an address label and drive it 5 minutes to the post office. But I absolutely could not do it. I would get irrationally mad at myself for being unable to complete such a mundane and simple task. And yet I still couldn't do it. That kind of mental roadblock was impossible for me to understand myself, let alone anyone who hasn't experienced it. That people living in the late stages of dementia are still people with valid feelings and deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. Most Americans already pay for other people's medical care through their health insurance policy. Yet a lot seem to think that being taxed is what will cause them to pay for other people. Lucid dreams. That nuclear energy is actually the cleanest, most powerful way to power a community. People hear the word nuclear and freak out. They think that somehow they have a bomb sitting in their community. They think Chernobyl is the norm. In reality, there were a lot of things that led up to the Chernobyl disaster that would not happen in any of the modern nuclear reactors that provide power to much of the world. With good regulation, safety, standards and upgrades, Nuclear power is clean, plentiful, cheap, and efficient. But people get so freaked out by the word nuclear they assume it's bad and they'll put oil in the furnace instead. Expressionless facts. Sometimes you don't know what they are. Then you do. There are facts you know and others don't. And facts others know and you don't. That's okay. Be willing to learn and teach. There are facts right now that no human knows. Someday we'll learn what some of them are. And even if you don't like them, that doesn't make them not facts or opinions. Reality is what it is, whether or not you're willing to admit it. My potential. Pensive face. Extraterrestrial life exists. We haven't met them yet, but they are out there. The power of a large amount of people to get together to make a positive change. Most people think you can't change things, or even gather people together for one purpose for that matter. But I think you could, if you really wanted to. Only issue is nobody is so motivated that they motivate others nowadays. Even motivational speakers need motivational speakers nowadays. And it shows when we watch them. Nobody can just simply take pride in who or what they are anymore. It has all become an unending competition of who is best. Increasing taxes on a higher tax bracket doesn't mean 100% of your income is taxed at that rate the second you enter it. The background hum of the universe. Unions are good for workers. Climate change. I worked in a lab for a couple years for my undergrad in geophysics. Most of the data was brought back by a team of professors and grad students who took yearly trips to Antarctica. Climate change turning into a political issue is a sin I can never forgive humanity for. That our favorite apps are addictive by design. The earth is round, not flat. My husband and I saw Dick Clark forcibly kissing a young ingenue on his New Year's Eve show. We both saw it, even though they cut quickly away. Nobody believes us. The government is not spying on you, but you are giving away way more information than the government cares about to advertisers and loyalty programs so you can save 50 cents on ranch, of course. Basic economics. Personal accountability. That addiction is a disease of the mind. It's not just a person choosing to be a drug addict, alcoholic. Turn signals. They work on my car, surely they must work on other cars. That if you pay tax to fund social services, it actually works out to be cheaper than financing everything individually. Cannabis addiction. ADHD. I live it every day and it's horrible. But others have said that I'm just making excuses and just need to give myself a shake and sort my shit out. Corporate greed. People saying costs are up because they are forced to pay better than slave wages, but still making record profits. I have celiac disease. This one really gets me because I have every medical test under the sun to prove it. Yet I still deal with constant comments. Why is everyone allergic to gluten all of a sudden? Oh, it's so trendy to not eat gluten. I beat Wordle once on my first guess when the word was dream. I've met several people who didn't know that narwhals are a real animal. Edit so many of you, I'm honestly like finding out as an adult that maybe some mythical creatures are real. Keeps the dream alive. UAP. Not aliens, but something in our atmosphere that people witness and currently isn't explained. I have my more far-out concepts of what I think they are. But the US government has acknowledged it, and people have been experiencing this for ages. That MFR back there is not real. That's all I know. The gods of parking and traffic. I live in NYC and when prayed to, they provide convenient legal parking even on the busiest days in my overcrowded neighborhood. Honk honk, that's how you say amen to them. Yes, I'm nuts.